Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited. Vertical Aviation celebrates Best Helicopter at Sun & Fun. Horizon Aircraft shows early test flights of Cavorite model. Boeing puts off next launch. Welcome to Airborne-Unlimited. I'm your host, Holland Lee. Let's get into today's stories. Vertical Aviation celebrates Best Helicopter at Sun & Fun. Hummingbird's 300L helicopter was awarded Best Helicopter at the recent Sun & Fun fly-in, garnering some serious bragging rights for the design. Vertical Aviation took a brief moment to make a little victory lap for their Hummingbird 300L, noting its popularity around the show. Their display aircraft was completed by Frank McMullan and Vic Syracuse, who did a great job with a multi-layer black, red, and gold striped livery. It's a nice showing for a fresh addition to the world of kit helicopters, straddling the best of home-built experimental and certificated aircraft. The Hummingbird 300L is rooted in a certified design, giving buyers 4 seats and enough capacity to use theirs as more than just a sporty little runabout. Vertical Aviation sees the award as proof positive that the design, construction, and value of the 300L is enough to be a serious contender in the wider aircraft market. The company said, quote, "The fact that the Hummingbird 300L helicopter stands out not only for its size and spaciousness, but also for being a kit helicopter based on a certified design," end quote. After the break, new Shepard targets May 19th for NS-25 mission.
Well, hello, fellow pilot. I'm John King.
And I'm Martha King.
You know, we've all had our flying lives disrupted lately.
Well, King Schools is here to help you stay up to date with courses that you can access on your desktop, iPad, or iPhone. If you'd like a refresher or just want to expand your aviation horizons, we have a course for you.
So head over to kingschools.com/rusty today for details.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. New Shepard targets May 19th for NS-25 mission. Blue Origin has announced its anticipated launch date for the NS-25 mission for Sunday, May 19th. The New Shepard mission will see 6 passengers through Blue Origin's 7th human spaceflight. The group will include Mason Angel, Sylvian Chiron, Kenneth L. Hess, Carol Schaller, Gopi Thadakura, and former Air Force Captain Ed Dwight. Dwight has a minor footnote in space history as the first POC chosen for astronaut candidacy, gaining the recognition of President Kennedy. Ultimately, Dwight never got to see space under NASA's care, so Blue Origin is bringing him up for a bit of suborbital time a few decades later. Gulfstream G700 earns EASA certification. Gulfstream has confirmed that the Gulfstream G700 has received European Union Aviation Safety Agency type certification following the aircraft's FAA type certification on March 29th. Before FAA certification, Gulfstream announced G700 performance enhancements for range, speed, and cabin altitude. The aircraft's range increased to 7,750 nautical miles at Mach 0.85, or 6,650 nautical miles at Mach 9, gaining 250 nautical miles at both speeds over original projections. The G700's maximum operating speed increased from Mach 0.925 to Mach 0.935. Cessna Citation Ascend program advances. Textron is promoting the continued advancement of the Cessna Citation Ascend program following the successful completion of numerous certification tests and more than 350 flight test hours. The Citation Ascend business jet was unveiled during 2023 E-Base, and the aircraft is expected to enter into service in 2025. The newest Citation is designed to bring a new cockpit, improved performance, and a more luxurious cabin to the midsize business jet market. McMullan gives Congress a rare thumbs up. NBAA applauded the passage of the FAA's recent reauthorization, passing through the House by a vote of 387 to 26. Congress really cut things close to the wire. The bill gains the NBAA's blessing for all the usual reasons, but this year's includes a first-ever general aviation title, a quote key section of the legislation focused on enhancing safety, streamlining regulations, and improving certification processes for general aviation aircraft, supporting certification for advanced air mobility, powered lift aircraft, and other technologies, and protecting flight privacy, end quote. That's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. Horizon Aircraft shows early test flights of Cavorite model. Hybrid eVTOL manufacturer, or better said, developer, showed off its latest flight test using a smaller scaled version of its high-wing Cavorite X5. The short tethered test flight shows the Cavorite take off from a standstill, lifting off and testing its behavior as it gently moves through a handful of power settings and control checks. It validated the Cavorite's yaw control system, as well as demonstrated to a small degree how stable and effective the aircraft is while taking off in VTOL mode. Cavorite's transition from vertical to horizontal flight, quote, within the next few months, end quote, keeps pace in an industry where everyone wants to be first in the market. Future tests will really put it through the ringer, ensuring it can stay in place with windy conditions or transition from vertical takeoff to cruise while remaining stable. The Cavorite's claim to eVTOL competence rests on its wider, more efficient fixed-wing design, which should help it stretch its legs better than equivalent aircraft relying only on a bank of rotors. Horizon has already begun production on a full-size rendition of its power plant and propulsion system, anticipating testing on a full-scale prototype in the years to come. After these messages, Boeing puts off next launch.
For over 30 years, the massive Sport Plane Resource Guide has provided expert, credible information, evaluations, and critical analysis of all that the sport aviation world has to offer. The all-new digital Sport Plane Resource Guide is coming with extensive multimedia features that are constantly updated, an even more comprehensive online guide to all things sport aviation. Available soon. www.sportplane.com.
I grew up in an aviation family. My dad flew airplanes and flew air shows actually, so ever since I was 3 years old, the only thing I've ever wanted to do was be an air show pilot. It's cliche, but I get to live my dream every single day. I'm currently using the Hartzell Talon, the new aerobatic propeller. It's increased the performance of the airplane. It's made the harmonics balance throughout the airplane so much better. By far the best aerobatic propeller that I've ever flown behind.
Welcome back. Boeing puts off next launch. NASA, Boeing, and United Launch Alliance teams continue working remaining open tasks in preparation for the agency's Boeing Crew test flight to the ISS. The teams are now targeting a launch date of no earlier than 4:43 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, May 21st to complete additional testing. On May 11th, the ULA team successfully replaced a pressure regulation valve on the liquid oxygen tank on the Atlas V rocket's Centaur upper stage. The team also performed repressurization and system purges and tested the new valve, which performed normally. Starliner teams are working to resolve a small helium leak detected in the spacecraft service module traced to a flange on a signal reaction control system thruster. Helium is used in spacecraft thruster systems to allow the thrusters to fire and is not combustible or toxic. NASA and Boeing are developing spacecraft testing and operational solutions to address the issue. As a part of the testing, Boeing will bring the propulsion system up to flight pressurization just as it does prior to launch, and then allow the helium system to vent naturally to validate existing data and strengthen flight rationale, Mission teams also completed a thorough review of the data from the May 6 launch attempt and are not tracking any other issues. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne, and don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.